This is Project Overtime. What does it truly feel like to have everything about your experience randomized in a game just like how it is in real life? People don't get to choose what they start out with in life, what they get in life, or how they get it, so how will this translate into a video game? Project Overtime is a third-person shooter game that is completely randomized. The computer picks values for each player, each weapon, each building, how the map is drawn, and where they are located in the map. This creates an experience that is different each time for the player. The game can handle a 4-person split-screen layout and allows for 2 to 4 players at a time. Players are dropped into a randomized area and have to kill to survive. The rules are simple. Scavenge the environment to find items that you can use to kill other players on the map. Players do not start out with any weapons or armor, but as the game slowly progresses, the map will randomly start to spawn these in. These weapons could be from swords and small knives to handguns and sniper rifles. The player can then pick up these weapons to use on other players. They must be careful, however, because guns drop with limited amount of ammo, and then the player must find more if they run out. Aside from players being the antagonizing force, the players have to worry about the map being a major component that is against them. The map changes every time and is never the same, making it hard for players to catch their ground and safely navigate the map to avoid other players. This type of playstyle closely resembles PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds and H1Z1. Since this is a generic third-person shooter, the theme can be made into any kind of game the player would like to play. A Wild West theme if a group of players would like to play with revolvers and knives. The environment would be randomly spawned into a dusty landscape with Western-themed buildings. If the player would like an old-timey pirate town set on the side of a port, then the player can play with swords and heavy revolvers. Maybe even a futuristic setting where the players have laser guns and anti-gravity boots. There is no limit to what could be implemented into the game. The basic mobility of the player includes walking and running, crouching, jumping, and the players can also attack another person using melee or shooting a weapon. The goal of the player is to finish the round with having the most kills. One example scenario is, the player loads into the game and sees themselves next to an old western saloon. Upon seeing this, they will immediately know the style of the map and the type of weapons that they will be using, such as handguns and smaller knives. This gives the player a hint as to what they are looking for when the items start to spawn in. After looking around, the player finds a revolver on the floor of a saloon. When he turns around, he sees a player running at him with a knife. The player then decides to shoot at the attacker but misses 4 of the 6 times. Thankfully, the 6th bullet kills the attacker. Now the player has to risk going outside and finding more ammo to be able to use the gun again or to take the player's knife. Risking what item to take is a big decision because it means that they will either be carrying a gun and potentially not find any ammo, or they could take the knife just to be on the safe side. Some of the risks included in making this game are time it would take to make the algorithms for the player to randomly generate the map. I have a working prototype that allows randomly generated maps in which the players can walk around in. Finding a balance as to how many weapons and buildings are spawned in on each map, but this can be set to have only certain numbers of weapons and buildings based on how large the map is. Also, having an algorithm place buildings without them blocking off parts is a concern, but this can be easily avoided by extending the building's colliders around the building so that the collider won't be placed inside of a wall or any paths. This is Project Overtime, and thank you for your time.